Howdy, everyone. February is over, March is here. There was a lot of good and a lot of bad in the month of February. We got a big Nintendo Direct and an interesting direction for the Call of Duty franchise. We also got a dummy thick amount of new game releases, especially Elden Ring. Elden Ring has maidens. Unfortunately, we also got some crappy news involving some really dumb decisions from Sony and Nintendo. So here are the top 5 pieces of gaming news of February 2022. Number 5. The game difficulty conversation gets brought up again for the 69 billionth time. With the release of the slow clap indie title Sifu, and of course from Software's Elden Ring, everyone on the internet has brought up the conversation about game difficulty. Here are my super quick thoughts on both games. Neither are perfect, but they're really great and really ambitious. I'm gonna need to delve deeper into both of these games in the future, but for now, it's time for me to drop a hot take. Sometimes games don't need to be completed to fully enjoy them. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is an amazing game, but I wouldn't say completing the story is necessary to fully enjoy it. You can roam around the open world for hundreds of hours and barely even touch the story, just like I did. And the same can be said about Elden Ring. It has a big ass open world that you can roam for countless hours without even getting to the first boss. And some games have a really steep learning curve and sometimes may never be beaten. However, that doesn't necessarily make them objectively bad. Just like books, films, and TV shows, video games are pieces of art that can be interpreted differently. For example, Citizen Kane is considered one of the greatest films of all time. But personally, I think it's cinematic NyQuil. Though I am able to recognize how impactful it is to filmmaking, and film in general. Shit, did I just compare Elden Ring to Citizen Kane? I guess I did. Charles Foster Kane and The Tarnished both have no maidens. And some genres are just not for me. I don't have the patience to learn fighting games. I think simulation games like Animal Crossing can get boring pretty quickly. I think one way to help people see if these games are for them is to push out more demos and trials. Sifu is a game that just straight up needs a demo. Games, just like everything else, are getting more expensive. Sifu and Elden Ring both take a ton of risks that people will either love or hate. Slowclap and From Software could potentially bring in people who are intimidated by their titles by just letting them try it out for 30 minutes to an hour. Now on to the next piece of news. Number 4. Martha is Dead is censored on PlayStation. Sony's strict censorship rules have been getting out of control for a while, but now it's been reaching the point where it's at the expense of developers. We've had some really bad uses of censorship on PlayStation games over the past few years, including some brief nudity in Devil May Cry 5, and one of the worst is this indie title, 20 Ladies, which had to be entirely reworked into 20 Bunnies for the PlayStation. Well, this month, LKA Games, the development team behind the indie horror title Martha is Dead, released a statement regarding the PlayStation version of their new game. Basically, they're making it clear that the game is for adult audiences only, and that some scenes may be potentially discomforting, and that Sony is forcing them to make some changes so that certain elements are no longer playable. So now, the PlayStation versions are only available digitally, with the physical release being delayed. And meanwhile, the PC and Xbox versions are unaffected. I've seen the big controversial scene in question myself, and I'm gonna be real, it reminded me of this scene from The Office.
Oh my.
I guess Sony wanted LKA to put the lotion in the basket. But with all that said, why is it that smaller and Japanese titles get censored, but AAA games get a pass? In The Last of Us Part 2, we had Owen spread Abby's cheeks and go to town. And we also got Cyberpunk 2077, which lets you customize certain body parts. How come that's okay, Sony? How? Plus, games have an entire rating system, just like movies do. If a game is already rated M and has a ton of content warnings, that would make the censorship pointless. I would actually try out Martha is Dead myself on a different platform, but you know, Elden Ring. Anyway, onto some better news. No Call of Duty this year. So last month, Activision Blizzard got bought by Microsoft. Plus, it's been promised that Call of Duty will still remain on PlayStation for the next 2 years. However, we got a massive update this month. For the first time since 2005, Call of Duty will not have a release this year.
Woo! Oh yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
This is possibly due to the underwhelming sales for 2021's Call of Duty Vanguard. This is clearly a good thing. Developers have more time to work on the next COD. There could be less crunch, and this may lead to a much better product. Infinity Ward is gonna develop the hell out of this game. Developers. And to hold everyone over, Treyarch is supposedly pushing out some free-to-play zombies game. I don't really care about it. Anyway, the next Call of Duty is supposedly a sequel to the Modern Warfare reboot back in 2019. And also releasing in 2023 is a sequel to Call of Duty Warzone. I could care less about Warzone 2, but I might actually give the Modern Warfare sequel a shot, especially if it's on Game Pass Day 1. Hell, I'll even play the first Modern Warfare if it comes to Game Pass 2. And up next, I'm going to talk about a massive live stream. Number 2, Nintendo Direct. Nintendo dropped a whopping 40 minutes worth of announcements. They opened up with a new Fire Emblem. It's set in the same world as Three Houses. I got hyped, and then I saw Warriors in the title.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Maybe I'll try it out when it comes out in June. I'm not entirely sold yet, but damn, like, why Warriors? I tried out a demo for the last Hyrule Warriors, and I really couldn't get into it. But up next, they showed off Advance Wars Reboot Camp. It looks pretty solid, but I'll probably skip it. There are just way too many games dropping around the same time, like Lego Star Wars. No Man's Sky for Switch was announced. I heard it improved a lot over the years, but I never had interest in the game. Plus, the appeal of playing games portably has died out for me over the past year. Mario Strikers Battle League looks nice. It's great that Nintendo is bringing this back. But I need to know more about the game though. Will the game be bare bones, or will there be an abundance of content? You never really know with Nintendo. Or just about any other game company these days. I might wait for more trailers and directs before I even consider buying it. Up next, Splatoon 3's Salmon Run mode was shown off. I liked Salmon Run in Splatoon 2, until it eventually got repetitive. I'm honestly still not sold on Splatoon 3 yet. I'm more interested in knowing more about the Mad Max-like campaign, though. Chrono Cross got announced, but I never played Chrono Trigger though. But for any Chrono fans out there, nice! And that got followed by Kirby deep-throating a car. I'm sold! Up next is Kingdom Hearts on Switch, played through the cloud. Who would pay full price for cloud versions of old games? This is a joke. This is just as much of a joke as the cringy dialogue from Kingdom Hearts.
Who else will I have ice cream with?
After that shit show, we have a pleasant surprise. Klonoa. All I really remember about Klonoa was that really fucked up ending, but still, very nice. And have you seen the value of Klonoa games? Like, where the hell is my copy of Klonoa on Wii? And we're getting the Portal games too. As I said before, the appeal of games being ported to the Switch has gotten old. But I'm still surprised because, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first time Valve has put out a game on a console since Portal 2 over a decade ago. And I have no idea what's going on in this trailer, but I'm interested to know more. With Live Alive and Triangle Strategy, which was also shown off, it really looks like Square is going in with the HD 2D engine. And I love the look of it too. Up next, Nintendo Switch Sports. Didn't Scott DeWaz predict something like this? In my opinion, the appeal of a sports compilation from Nintendo is kinda gone for me. Something like this in 2006 was a big deal because it introduced most of us to motion controls. So honestly, I think I might skip this one too. Though Nintendo has a big unanswered question about this game. Where the hell is Matt? Up next is that Taiko drum game. I've never played any of the games from this franchise, but it reminds me so much of Donkey Konga. Y'all remember Donkey Konga, right? One of the games had the Shrek song.
In the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming.
Well, the Taiko game has that song that was played for the Pope.
Drum to dozens of boppin' beats, including Megalovania.
That Cuphead DLC was also shown off for the 5 billionth time. I still haven't beaten Cuphead. Plus, Metroid Dread has an update. I haven't beaten that either. Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings have also been confirmed for Nintendo Switch Online. Off to the backlog you go. And the fact that Mario Kart 8 was gonna have a whole expansion pass had me dying. And they had Coconut Mall play during the announcement. Mario Kart 8 may as well be Nintendo's GTA 5. And the big one more thing is the announcement of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Which is fine. I've never played any of the other games. but this is a big W for any Xenoblade fans out there. But I'm happy for all the Mario Strikers fans, all the Xenoblade fans, all the Strikers fans, all the Chrono Trigger fans, all the Klonoa fans, all the Earthbound fans, all the Coconut Mall fans. I'm happy for y'all. Oh, and some new Pokemon game got shown off at the end of February. It's another Pokemon. That's all I really have to say about it. I honestly don't really care about it. But on to the last piece of news. Number 1, Nintendo doesn't give a flying fuck about game preservation. Sorry to end on a low note, but right after the Direct, Nintendo decided that they would pull a Nintendo and pull the plug on the Wii U and 3DS eShops. Starting March 2023, no one will be able to purchase Wii U and 3DS games from the eShop, which really sucks. Certain titles that are exclusive to the eShop, such as Box Boy and Mario and Donkey Kong Minis on the Move, are gonna be gone forever. Okay, I'm gonna be real, I don't care about any of these games, but still, it sucks that they're gonna be gone forever. On top of that, physical games are for sure gonna pump up in price. Not just Wii U and 3DS games, but also games from other Nintendo consoles, thanks to the Wii U and 3DS virtual consoles shutting down too. Sony be like, you guys are still deleting your store? And to be honest, I did see this coming. With Nintendo focusing on the Switch, it was only a matter of time for this to happen. And I don't blame Nintendo. I've never bought a single thing from either eShops. Hell, I've never even owned a 3DS. They straight up admitted that they're doing nothing in a now deleted section of their website. Of course, this has led to massive fan backlash. Even the Video Game History Foundation is calling Nintendo out on this bullshit. But in the end, this is the reality of an all-digital future. So, what can be done? Piracy, bitches! FBI, open up!